lifesaving isn't just, a performance related sport, but I'm sure it's taught you a lot about, water safety and just being around the ocean.
Yeah, so I grew up, mate. I grew up at like just a crossroad from Bungan Beach, on the Northern Beaches, and my dad was a mad keen surfer, and mum and dad used to always take us to the beach, as a young kid. Um, I think for their peace of mind, it was always they wanted us boys. I got two brothers as well. They wanted us to be safe at the ocean. So learning to swim and learning to be familiar in the ocean was a non-negotiable. Um, and from there, it just I'm a competitive kid, and both my brothers are too. And we whatever we did, we just wanted to be really good at it. Whether it was swimming lessons or whatnot, we just tried to be the best in the class, be the fastest in the class, get up to the highest possible class, and then start doing squads. And then, man, the thing it just snowballs and goes so quick. But we're also juggling a bunch of other different sports too. So, growing up on the Northern Beaches, basing myself here now, my wife and I with Leo, it's like, my advice for any parent living on the Northern Beaches or on the East Coast, West Coast, or living on the coast of Australia is like, man, you've got to keep your kids in swimming lessons. You've got to get them familiar with the ocean, because the amount of deaths that occur every year in that ocean purely based off, you know, lack of knowledge, swimming between the flags, or just getting yourself into a sticky situation because you don't know how to assess the ocean properly, man, it's frightening. So for me, it's like, I try and spread that word as much as possible, and take it with a grain of salt. But when I was a young kid, I nearly drowned in a swimming pool. Wandered off at a barbecue. The gate was left open, and I fell in the pool. And my older brother at the time, he jumped in the pool and saved me. I was eyes open, mouth open, full of water. Lucky he just got to me in time, and I can kind of live to tell the tale. But the years following that, I think it was probably 5 years after that, I was petrified of the water. Not just the ocean, swimming pools, the bath, the ocean, like anything. I'd go to the beach with my shoes and socks fully clothed, not wanting to even go near the water. And it wasn't until probably the age of, I guess, seven or eight. And that's when mum and dad really started to push down the road of the learning to swim. Let's get into nippers. But they were not in any way, shape or form pushy. It was just, let's encourage him. Let's chip away. If he doesn't want to do it, that's fine. His brothers will be doing it. He'll feel like he's missing out, and kind of approach it in a different way. But yeah, I'm super passionate about that, and I'll be making sure my little boy is in the water as much as he can be.
It's so ironic, isn't it, Kenj? Because your strongest leg of any of the Ironman series, and probably what pulled you through in that series win, was your swim leg. So, going from a young boy who was almost scared of the ocean after a near drowning event, and being raised, do you think your parents had any role in, I guess, your swimming expertise now in the ocean, and your ability to, pull through with some of those big events you've managed to win?
Yeah, I think so. Look, I think they were just very encouraging in whatever I wanted to do. You go for it. My grandfather, he kind of gave his advice to my dad, and also, instilled it in myself and my brothers too. Is it's just like, if you do it once, do it right. If you're going to do something, just do it to the best of your ability. And that's what kind of I approach every day with. I approach my sport with it. I turn up to training. It's just, I want to get the best out of myself possible today. And I've applied that to my swimming from a young age. And I look back now, and I'm 32. I'm the oldest person in the field of the Ironman, and my swim leg's still up there with some of the young fast boys. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that.
And so the statistics on drowning, so you mentioned, there's quite a lot of drownings that are related to preventable causes, lack of education, lack of knowledge. But 1,025 drowning incidents occur in Australia every year. That's a crude rate of 3.99 incidents per 100,000 people. So And if you think about living on the Australian coastline too, we've got, as you would know, extent of the rips and currents and the way the ocean is, it's really is a vital skill, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's yeah. I just like training down at Manly Beach every day. They have the red and yellow flag set up. They sometimes have two sets set up, but yet you still see these people that are, mate, it's purely just lack of awareness, lack of education. They just go and swim in the water and they think that water's, the same as the safe water in the rips, where, the lifeguards and the, patrol members, they do the due diligence for these people and make sure you're swimming in the right place. But again, it's a hard one. It's just constant education. I think people like Surf Life Saving Australia and Nutrigrain, they've done some really cool campaigns. I was lucky enough to be part of one last year with Emma McKeon, and they'd have a QR code on the side of a Nutrigrain box, and you could scan that QR code and punch in, the closest postcode to where you are, and it will show you a patrolled beach, where the closest patrolled beach is. Because, if you're from, overseas or maybe in the country and you don't really know what the difference between a patrol beach and an unpatrolled beach is, you're just going to go to the beach and go for a swim and think, it's sweet to swim anywhere. But then that's when accidents happen. And on those unpatrolled beaches, man, it's pretty scary. Like, we go up to Crescent Head every year, and on the back beach there, it's an unpatrolled beach. And you could be halfway down the beach, no one around, go for a swim, caught in a rip, and you're gone. No one's even going to know about it. So, there's some really cool awareness out there, some good education out there, and they're really trying to be on the front foot with it.
Yeah, that's a really great initiative, I guess, from Nutrigrain, isn't it, to put that QR code on the side of the box. Is there any apps or anything that, for any people out there that are unfamiliar with the surf, is there any apps out there that people can use to, identify patrolled beaches or, where they can swim safely?
I think, look, in terms of apps, I'm not 100% sure, but in terms of, I guess, websites to go to, you just, if you're in Queensland, New South Wales, whatever, just go to Surf Life Saving New South Wales. I'm sure you can navigate on there, and that'll be pretty clear to tell you where those kind of patrol beaches are. Yeah,